This episode's all about Argotol leaked pictures, Horus Heresy 2.0 box set, the rumors for Horus Heresy, we talk some LVO, and thoughts on Centurion Plus.
Welcome to Trident Wargaming, a podcast dedicated to all aspects of tabletop wargaming. Your hosts are Bill and Andy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trident Wargaming. This is episode 3, Olde Guard Strike Back, and I am your host Bill.
And I'm Andy.
And we are joined today with two of our battle bros. We've got Alex.
Hello.
And we've got Dan.
Hi,
So,
how's it going, guys?
Good. Just, surviving the heat in Edmonton here. It's, 30 degrees? 33 or something?
It's going to be brutal soon.
Yeah.
It's like Prospero, the burning.
I guess, yeah.
This is fully pants optional weather.
Yeah,
it is. It is. It's kind of cool with the four of us kind of jumping back online. We actually, back in the past, we did a Tale of Four Warlords where we were all playing 40k and doing like battle reports and filming and talking about our games. And I don't know if the four of us have kind of jumped on together on chat like this or even in person for a little while, other than when we were throwing down some games.
No, not. This would have been BC before COVID.
Before COVID, yeah, this was BC for sure. So,
but hopefully all that's coming to an end, and we'll be able to start doing it again, like we're doing here.
Yeah.
But this time, it won't be 40k. It'll be Heresy.
Oh yeah.
The Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
An AOS podcast? Ah, crap.
Good one.
I guess, yeah.
So what to this episode today, Bill? What we got lined up for the people listening?
This is just going to be a big recap of all the heresy stuff that we've been seeing online lately. I guess kicking off, we can jump into Argotol. He got leaked. We saw pictures. I guess my first reaction was like, holy shit, they actually did it.
Just when you thought Forge World forgot about us.
Yep.
Go ahead, Alex.
It's exciting to see. Like I said, it felt like there was a bit of a drought for the last couple months. Not just COVID, but in general. Having them pump out Praetors for the different legions, and that's exciting. But a character series model really gets everyone's blood moving, I think.
Oh, I agree.
Definitely.
It's just super surprising that they didn't even hint at him. Like, he didn't even have rules. He didn't have nothing. People were always like, oh yeah, he's a big part of the books. That was kind of like a wish list kind of character, and all of a sudden they just dropped him out of nowhere. So it's awesome to see them doing that.
Do you think they might have him tied into something else coming down the pipe, though? Because, I know we've talked about this in the past and said that it would be awesome if they started bringing out these characters that don't have rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if they're planning on maybe bringing out some little expansions with maybe a whole bunch of characters that are not in the game. Kind of be interesting to see down the road what they do.
Yeah,
I think at the very least, it actually shows that the dev team is still producing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's exciting. Like the Argotol being one of the first demon characters in the Heresy, does kind of, maybe they're with that type of sculpting, maybe they are going to start moving towards later Heresy stuff.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
would be
true.
nice. It was nice that he kind of came out without being on the radar, like Dan said, and I do hope it does show, that maybe there are going to be some character expansion like down the road. It'd be nice to, get a new update with a bunch of new characters for all the legions, and just adding more of those personalities that you get to read or listen about in the Heresy novels.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. And like, as to, is this model plastic or is it resin? We'll find out.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's a wicked looking model.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be
Sorry.
some conversions with spears.
Uh-huh.
You know it.
Yeah, I had to look up the picture to remind myself of how awesome it is.
Yeah. My vote's for resin. I think it'll be a resin model. I want it to be plastic, but I think it'll be resin.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're. I think the character series will continue to be resin. Resin is kind of just the way they've developed in the past, and that's the technology that Forge World has. That's what they're comfortable with. I think it's if they do move to plastic, I think that'll be the end of the Forge World studio, and they'll just migrate it all into GW.
I kind of hope that would happen, to be honest. In my opinion, at least. Maybe we'd see a lot more stuff happen. I don't know, but I'm sure there'll be some haters out there hating on me for saying that.
It's like the opposite of music. Like, we want them to go mainstream. Like, come on, you can do it. Come on, sell out, go plastic. Come on.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no.
No, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with the rules when he comes out for his rule set and whatnot. And I'm sure it'll be quite a bunch of happy word bearer players, Bill. So it'll be good. It's good to see it. Good to see him come out. And,
so like, where do we go from here? Because Dan reminded me how early in the Heresy Argyltel actually turns into a demon, and it's like book 3 or 4 that his transition happens. So like, what does this mean? Is like, is this later Heresy or is it earlier Heresy? Is it like, who's the next character that comes out?
True, good question.
Yeah, that is a good question, actually.
Because he was on Istvan, right?
Yeah.
He basically transformed before.
Well,
when
Istvan
they were
5,
doing the
right?
pilgrimage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that is a good question. I would hope it would be post Istvan 5, just to kind of bump things along.
Do you have a character that you want to see?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
that is, yeah. I'm gonna think about it. Someone else go.
Well,
That's
I mean, like, every first captain would be awesome. I mean, the Iron Hands have a bunch. Gabriel, or whatever his name is, and he's cataphracty with lightning claws. He'd look awesome.
Gabriel Centaur.
Yeah.
Andy?
I think Alex would like this one. I want to see Lucius.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you stole mine, you jerk.
I like to see him come out and see what they do with him. They make him kind of all messed up, right? Scarred up and whatnot. So,
Well, they brought out Assault Tarvitz, so like you can do games where you're fighting each other or whatever, right?
Yeah.
No one wanted Saul. Everyone wanted Lucius. That was a sellout.
Oh man.
but you have because they never came out with Fabius Bile.
No.
No.
That would be a nice one
right?
too.
So, like, exactly, that'd be pretty cool to see.
I guess if I was gonna pick, it'd probably be Bjorn the Fell-Handed. I think that would be pretty legit.
Well, they came out with his little cousin or whatever.
Well, Gregor. Yeah. Yeah, Fell-Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It would be cool just to have a character like that fleshed out, so you could have him running with Russ and a bunch of their gear Terminators or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think who else.
I would like to see Remus Ventanas come out too,
Oh, like a model?
like an actual.
I thought you got that, Harold. He's close enough.
Yeah, no, he is close enough, but no.
The super thick Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
It's,
C's.
Definitely leg day on him.
Yeah, like, we're gonna Ultramarines. Yeah, what are you guys thinking? Like just thick thighs on that guy. Like he's marching up all the time.
It's the MK3 armor, man.
Just the angle you're looking at him, it's all wrong.
But there's so many. I mean, there's so many other characters that we can mention. But it's good to see it.
I like Dan's comment. You know, the first captains, all of the first captains, Jubal, you know, everyone else.
That would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, the Mornival. Very neat. But I guess we'll see what happens here
Yeah.
the next how many months.
Could speculate for a long time. It's
Who knows? They might have them on a display case somewhere, just kind of sitting there. Never know.
You know, or what happens. Obviously, we're going to get to it here at the end. But LVO, you know, usually is a big reveal for Heresy every year. So does Adepticon. So I'm sure there's more in the pipe coming.
yeah, no doubt.
Oh, 100%.
Well, I mean, Argyle Tall could be like the Daradio shield.
Shield Pavas that never shows up. Oh, could you imagine, man? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
sad already.
I bet you the second topic here. I bet you they bring it out with the box set.
Wow.
Oh, probably.
Well, they might. They might. That I guess that cues us in. Yeah. So we all saw the pictures. We all saw leaks. Some pages pulled them down, and some just let it run rampant with rumors. That Horus Heresy 2.0 like plastic box set. I guess first thing I want to ask you guys is, and it's been asked to death, and it's just like, I don't know. You think these are true scale Marines? You think this is like Primaris scale style Marines for this MK6?
I don't think so. I don't know why they would make one mark like 1.2 or 25% bigger than everyone else. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, they do look a bit larger, right, in the pictures there. As for if they are, and if they do that, what does that mean for the future, right? Who knows? Maybe they're testing the waters with them too, to see what people are saying or what they like.
Oh, the backpacks look different, right? I noticed that right away.
Yeah. So because it's the armor itself, like you said, the backpack. Of course, the other significant thing is people say they're taller. They're definitely new sculpts, so they're not the resin that they used to have, and like even the feet are a bit different too, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they look wicked to me. They look pretty awesome, and you're going to see a lot of that armor coming out to these armies, you know, Raven Guard and whatnot. But it's if they are bigger, who knows? It could be something they're testing out. See what people like.
So like, it's hard to tell. You know, I'm just kind of got them up side by side here, and the only thing that makes me think that they are bigger is actually the fact that they're all on. It looks like to be on 32s, and the Terminators look like they're on 40s, and they're taking up the whole base.
Yeah.
Like those are big bases. Those, like he's got like the double lightning claw cataphracti Terminator is end to end on that base, and that base is bigger than the Marine base that's next to it, and it looks like it's over, 1 1/4, 1.5 size the track of the Spartan behind it. The Spartan track's 1 inch, so it makes sense that it is a 40 mil base. The mathematics going on here in the background.
I just pictured that meme with that GIF with the lady and all the equations flying around her head. Jesus.
but like the Contemptor looks normal, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Contemptor looks like it hasn't changed. Actually, it looks
So
like the
it actually,
Contemptor.
I think, maybe I'm not sure, but I think it did change though. 'Cause
well,
doesn't the plastic one have the banner thing on the front of the chest?
Yes. So
Yeah.
this Contemptor's brand new because it doesn't have all the like the knee pads are different, and there's no, the banner on the chest. It's just plain, right?
this looks like a multi-piece kit. Honestly,
That'd be awesome if it is.
I would hope so. I know one of the first things I noticed was that Havoc launcher on the top, and it's very much a shout to the Telemon style like missile launcher on the that they wear on top of their carapace.
Mhm.
So that looks like a nice, cool update.
Yeah, plastic autocannon,
Yeah.
probably. Is there other weapons that come with it?
God,
Probably.
I hope so.
You know,
Plastic glass cannon would be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
but it's cool step forward. If it is a multi-kit, different options.
I was looking at just kind of as you guys are talking, going back, like Fate had Heresy rumors up about 8 months ago about what the potential release of a plastic kit.
Yeah, it's showing us here. Hopefully
Seems
that's
close,
what's happening,
yeah.
right?
So my question is, do you think them making Mark 6 was the best choice? Considering it kind of seems like only certain legions had Mark 6 and not like a whole ton of them.
It's really hard to say, right? Like if they themed it around, and I know it's been tossed around quite a bit, the Siege of Terra. Like if it's a Siege of Terra box, having the Sons of Horus and the Imperial Fist MK6 makes sense. But yeah, I would have liked to see MK2 personally, because I think more legions can make wider use of it. I know every one of the Raven Guard players is just licking their lips, going, "Oh yeah," because they're just getting ready. So it's just one of those things. But
The other thing too that is like a interesting little kind of almost like a teaser added into the box set picture is that the dice in the bottom right actually still has a scatter dice.
it does.
Oh, I'm sure they have tons of those laying around.
Yeah.
They just threw them in there just to screw with people. Are you getting scatter? You don't know. But yeah, like I don't know. I think the other thing too is that it might guide why they're Imperial Fists and Sons of Horus, because they were probably the most likely legions to get access to it, and it's lots of reference in the books that they have access to it. So that's maybe why they're painted in this scheme. But you know what? Like I think Beakies are universal at this point. That people who started playing it back in 3rd edition onwards always fell in love with Beaky Marines, and this is I think a send out to them and to the Heresy in general. I think regardless you'll see Beaky Marines and all the other legions that weren't running them at this time.
Yeah.
And it is, maybe the whole thought process behind it, not bringing like MK2 out, is because it's so similar to the MK3 that they wanted something fairly different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, marine armor is marine armor, right? But regardless, like it's cool. Will I use a lot of it? I don't know. We'll have to see in the future what army I throw it into, I guess, right?
He's lying.
Okay, here's the
I foresee a whole bunch of like Raven Guard players coming out of the woodwork.
so
Maybe I'll make some Ultramarines out of it.
Here's the question: If your Plastic Heresy comes out, everyone gets access to this. Those Marines are 15% bigger than the existing range.
Yeah.
Do you switch to the new Marines?
Silence.
I got like 1,000 Marines in my basement.
I would.
Switching over to every single one to be bigger would be a big load of time and money.
Oh, for sure. For sure it would. I mean, I'm crazy when it comes to miniatures. So, I mean, for me, it's like an auto go button to press and just do it. But, you know, it's like you said, and it happens all the time in the gaming world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got 100 models of this, and they came out with a new range or new size. What do I do, right?
So I don't think they're gonna switch. I don't think they're gonna scale creep this. I honestly don't. Like I think they just look different because they've slightly streamlined the beaky armor design and added a little bit more accent to maybe the boots and power fists. But I don't think they're gonna change it.
The one thing I will mention though, it maybe the reason they do look taller is we're so used to that static marine pose. Like some of these beakies look like they're walking, right? They're not squatted down slightly and holstering their bolter and firing their bolter.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a little bit like they're standing up a bit straighter, right? So maybe that's why it looks like they may be taller. But
perspective.
Yeah.
And you know
Well,
how pictures are, right?
Yeah, we're literally looking at a squinty photo that's blurry and the color's all distorted, and so we don't even know if this is even real, right? Like,
It's like when I take
So-
my glasses off. So
yeah, so it's all speculation as of right now.
Yeah,
But-
it is. I honestly, if there was a scale change, I would probably sell my existing armies, and I would jump in with new scale because I know, and I've been looking at them already. Is at Tortuga Bay Studios on Instagram? They have everything from MK2 to MK5 true scale standing and running poses, and these are legs and torsos together, done in like a resin, and they look awesome. So if G-Dub is the one that really kicks it off and body slams it, you're gonna have a huge kind of exodus. You're gonna have the guys who are like, nope, I'm hoarding as much regular Marines as I can. I was gonna say firstborn because of 40k, but then and then you'd have guys who just are running, flocking to the new style plastics, and I think there would be opportunity for both sides of the fence to unload existing size and pick up new stuff, and vice versa, right? I think it'd be very crazy. Like,
you know how much of an overhaul that would have to be?
It'd be an overhaul.
Just think of it like plastic jet bikes.
Oh, dude.
I'd be offering my white scars to Alex here. Like,
Yeah. It's crazy.
I would buy them. I would do it.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
but like that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was a bigger scale, which I don't think it's going to be, you have breachers, you have assault marines, terminators.
Yeah.
Like everything would have to just be completely revamped, and that would take years. Keep Heresy in the game like that.
Unless it's already done.
True. We could have a vial of darkness over the top of our heads, and they've been doing this for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Now they're just revealing it.
I feel that's the story every Heresy gamer tells themselves. Keep themselves going sometimes.
No doubt.
Just wait, the next LVO, they'll redo Third Legion. I swear to God, they're gonna do it.
They'll make things right. They'll make them right. Yeah, they did. All the Heresy players around the world, thank you for that too, Forge World. Keep up the good work.
I think the one thing I'm most excited about is the plastic Nuncio box.
Yeah.
There's a picture there with like a servo skull looking thing and an antenna.
Yeah.
And then you also have the characters, the blurry looking characters. We can't quite tell what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will they be generic characters, or are they going to be named characters?
I hope for multi-piece, honestly.
Generic.
Yeah, give me some generic
I think so
multi-piece
too.
kits.
I think they will be generic. It's interesting to see what it is.
So
Does come out.
I gotta admit, like, a little bit of a scare here too for me personally is what I'm worried that this isn't potentially Heresy 2.0, and this is just like another Burning of Prospero box set, except with Imperial Fists and Sons of Horus. I am a little worried about that.
Why are you even tempting fate like that?
Because I'm staring at my box of Burning of Prospero on my shelf. I'm like, I wonder, would they just do that to us? Would they if they hint at Heresy 2.0 and then just give us literally another box set?
They could.
Problem is you'd be sad, but you'd still be buying that box set.
Probably buying at least like 2 or 3. Let's be real. Stashing one under the bed for later.
My Prospero's still in shrink wrap, so yeah, absolutely would buy it.
But this is new armor, so it's different, new and shiny, right? So
Let's be honest, we're all just gonna buy it for the Spartan. We don't even care about the Marines at this point.
Yeah, we haven't said anything.
I won't
we
even
haven't.
lie. That's probably the biggest reason to buy that box. That Spartan looks different. I think that looks plastic for sure. I noticed the tracks look different. And
what, they're together and they're not missing pieces?
I guess it depends what generation of Spartan you have. If you have a first gen one, yeah, that thing's probably terrain, and if it's not, consider it, because the plastic one will be better. Yeah,
It's like the front tracks are actually correctly aligned with each other.
Oh god.
What model master put it together?
Oh, the early days.
Oh man.
Just having that conversation with yourself as a model, like, you know what? If I just have to leave the tracks off, I just have to leave the tracks off. People are just gonna have to deal with this.
Yeah.
But so Spartan looks a little different. Yeah, I think we all think it's plastic, right? So
Yeah, definitely plastic.
now, what else do you think they're coming out with? What other box sets have they in store for us? Is it, do we think that they'll have a couple different plastic kits?
I mean, rhinos are pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
Even if you do like the Damio, so like you literally just switch out pieces and it'd be easy to do those.
That would be nice. A plastic Sakaran would be nice. Like a multi-piece chassis would be pretty legit.
You have to buy the turrets separately from Forge World, but give you a plastic chassis.
You know, I wouldn't even be mad at that. I'd be okay with that. That would be okay.
But if they end up going that route, okay, so plastic Spartan, well, there goes the resin Spartan, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
then
terrain now.
plastic Sakaran. So, like, is it now the question is in my head is like, is it actually happening? Is GW taking over it of making these kits now, right? And then weeding out just slowly the Forge World stuff. Who knows?
The future is the plastic Thunderhawk.
I was gonna say Storm Eagle, but
Storm Eagle. Let's start
Thunderhawk
with the
would be
Storm Eagle first.
nice. Yeah. Hey, you got your plastic Thunderhawk. You got your Aeronautica one.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Let's just zoom in on the picture, and everybody thinks it's for 40K.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's a grade A level trolling.
That was.
This is where we're at as a fan base, where our supplier can do that to us, and we're just like, yeah, okay, I guess that's great, thank you.
Yeah. Wipe your eyes.
So what about the rules? Obviously the leaks popped up that this, a revamp of the 7th Ed rule set. Dreadnought's getting wounds.
Oh, that just alone, Dreadnought's getting wounds makes my wish list come true. I hope that they take the stance of being monstrous creatures, like we talked about in an earlier episode. And honestly, I would straight up just piss myself because I've got a lot of dreads, and I would love to run all of them.
Well, you'd see a lot more of them on the field, that's for sure.
Wait, what's stopping you from running them now?
That they're just not as good.
They're one last cannon shot away from
yeah, they
that,
just
I think.
I don't, they just like, let's be real. Like, I'd love to run that. What is it? Brethren of Iron, right? Like all the dreadnought, Rite of War. But like considering how fast it can get popped by like that errant melta gun, las cannon, and you're just like, oh man. Whereas at least if they are monstrous creatures, they're probably packing T7 or 8. And yeah, I don't really care about a las cannon or a melta gun. You do a wound and I'm rolling.
Would that make it more on par with Mechanicum's units then?
Yeah, like a Thanatar? Fucking rights it would.
So your Leviathan would be more of a Thanatar level.
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
So if they did change over to wounds, you guys think that you would see more units that are like have poison or sniper or allows you to wound on 4+ or whatever, regardless of like the toughness?
I think you would actually see a comeback of vets. I think you'd have those monster hunter or the monster killer like vets coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd see maybe seekers making another comeback because they can mark that unit for death. There's a lot of potential to bring out a lot of other units, I guess, if that does happen. I know, just to kind of bring Alex and Dan up, like what we were talking about last time was basically my wish was if they do make dreads monstrous creatures, that box knots are T6, contemptors are T7, and leviathans are T8, just to kind of match the respective like Mechanicum counterparts. And I think that you would really see these units perform a lot better on the table. Not to say that they don't now, but I think they would just increase like exponentially.
But we're assuming that Heresy 2.0 is still going to be like 7th, but just changing them over to a monstrous creature, or would it be more like 8th and 9th where there's keywords?
That's
where
yeah.
So he could still have the profile of a monstrous creature, with 6 wounds or something and toughness levels and whatever else, but he could have keywords of vehicle and walker.
Yeah, that's true.
If they do, they'll probably put the Astartes word on him, right, to benefit from the Astartes rules from all the Legion.
That'd be amazing.
Now he's
problem with that is it gets you can break the game then that way. There's certain legions that are really good at that would help the dreadnoughts more than other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Hands are one of them, but -1 strength to a Astartes unit, and if it's a dreadnought jumping around, that melt is now strength 7, right? Like, so it's hard to figure out a balance, I guess. Unless they gave them a specific thing where dreadnoughts are this thing in this legion.
Yeah.
I think it's gotta like, I don't think you can do baby and bathwater here with this. I think if they're gonna go, if it's not just moving dreads to monstrous creatures and giving them wounds, if that's as simple as this is, great, fine, it's a decent fix. It kind of fixes the walker keyword or walker issues that are in the game right now for rules interactions. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think all of the experience they've gained for the last 4 years of rules writing, you see kind of AOS came out, and AOS informed the rule set for 40K, which then began to develop and evolved, and that informed the rule set for AOS further. I guarantee you that if they're going to do a revamp of the rule set, we're going to see more than just this. It's going to be keywords, it's going to be different interactions for monstrous creatures, more wounds on the table, less armor values, or armor having less of an impact, because that's where the game is currently.
Yeah. Do you think there would be multi-damage? Think they bring that in?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like I think having, dreads with like 7 or 8 wounds with multi-damage weapons in the game gives you a very thematic feel than just making the monsters creatures. Like the same weapons that kill that will blow up a contemptor, wipe out a strength 7 or toughness 7 monstrous creature just as efficiently. You just maybe need to shoot them twice. That's it. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
And rather than having that really clunky interaction with looking at the vehicle damage chart and what the impact is going to be, eliminating all that, just doing multi-wound, multi-damage. That way your dread is still careening across the battlefield, shooting and being involved, and it's thematic, which I think is where they're going to go with it. I hope they're going to go with it.
Yeah, I can see that too. It would be nice. I know I'm looking forward to a psychic phase change a little bit at least. So,
wait, there's a psychic phase in 30K?
There is. There is. Not many people play it, but it would be nice. I would really like if it adopted the 9th edition style of psychic phase. And I know, again, there's going to be people who are like, no, I don't want it to go to 9th. I don't want the game to go to 9th. I just want some of the cool rules from it.
But essentially, it probably will.
It very well could.
But if they start going that route of changing things like this,
yeah,
they'll eventually move it over to something similar to 9th, right?
I think they'll do the same thing that they're doing with AOS. Like when the Dominion rule set for AOS that's just been released by them live here last week. You start to see the match play rules coming in line with the match play expectations of 40K, and they're different. They are a different rule set, but the theme and the kind of philosophy behind it is very similar. And I think that's what they can do with 30K as well, is kind of keep the philosophy. Like obviously, like we've got scatters and templates. We've got armor heavy, we've got legion focus. That idea is, I think you can maintain that with just a modernized rule set that brings in line with the other systems, and that way people can start switching between systems, because that's always been a big complaint, is that you've got, I can't play AOS because I forget the 40K rule set, I can't play because I forget the 30K rule set. Or if you start streamlining the baseline philosophy for all 3 rule sets, so that people can say like, oh hey, yeah, this interaction is the same. This is how I roll dice, this is how I wound, this is how damage works throughout all the different systems, and you just got maybe minutia that you've got to deal with for the army to army interactions. I think that'll be really good for the hobby, because then people can, like us, like hobby hardcores, where we're playing different games every couple weeks, we can jump between rule sets and not have to like drag 6 books and hold up the gameplay as a result.
It's true. Yeah.
And who knows in that aspect too, is like that may draw more people to playing the Heresy, right? And at the same time, it might kind of push people away from it, like you said, some guys that are just hardcore with the current rule set and they don't want pretty much change.
Well, there's some crusty guys out there, right, who threaten to sell their whole legion for $100.
Burn it down.
Go to 9th.
Burn it down.
If you want to sell it for $100, email us here at Trident. PayPal standing by. So.
Auto deposit is already set up. It's,
yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, like I think, and we've kind of seen it here locally. There's been a couple of new players who've been playing 40K coming over now to the older rule set to play, right? But ultimately, like even us, like we're hard in the Heresy, and then we did the New Lords thing, and we started getting involved with 40K and really liking it, So I think with if they do start changing things, for me personally, it'll be quite exciting. It'll be fresh and just a new experience again, right? But set in the Heresy, part of the universe.
Well, it's I don't know. It's kind of bittersweet, right? Like some of these rumors saying that no more black books, new red books. it makes me a little bit sad, especially for a lot of the guys who've just been jumping in with, like, you know, maybe even the last year, that if they do bring out a whole new wave of red books and it's totally revamped for 2.0, that it just, that can kind of be a low blow for guys. I know my mouth, I still have the bad taste in it from, you know, buying all the Psychic Awakening books, and then they were like, oh, hey, those books you just bought. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, you can't use those anymore. What? And he's like, yeah, oh, but if you want to use the rules almost the same, you got to buy this new codex. I was like, oh, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, right? I was still a sucker and I bought the codex, but I just, yeah, makes me feel bad for those guys.
I mean, it's the line that we have to
Cross.
kind of walk, right? It happens, and it's just,
It does.
I honestly, the only thing that really makes me mad about this whole announcement is the Black Book thing. That really it grinds my gears. Like, I'm staring at my shelf of Black Books here that I've been collecting since, like, the first pre-order went up for Heresy, and, you know, in the back of my head, I read every single one. I thoroughly enjoy the fluff. I thoroughly enjoy the backstory, and the art is fantastic. And I think personally, I was really looking forward to, you know, getting through to the Siege of Terra and seeing the big Black Book for the Siege of Terra, and just being like, you know, I would sell one of my children for it. I was looking forward to it so much. And then, you know, if that's true, if we're not going to get one, that really bugs me.
The only silver lining I can see about that is maybe it's not a Black Book like we know, where it has Legion rules and unit entries and stuff. Maybe they'll adapt it to the point where it's like, yeah, your red books are all updated. They might do something similar to like a chapter approved, where you get new shit, and then they might still release a Black Book for just the fluff, because my OCD is upset because I only got 9 books. And I want 10, like, end it on 10 or 12, not 9 or 11, because that'll irk the shit out of me.
Yeah, I was just thinking that so part of the problem right now is they take like 2 or 3 years to write this book, and all you're getting half the time is either just like one Legion with 4 rules for, you know, four units and a Primarch. And it's taken 7, 8, 9 years now for like all of the Legions to come out. If they would have just done all the books and then done campaign books with no added like rules for units or models, it would have been way better. And I think that's what they might be trying to do. And that may be why Argyle Tall is coming out of nowhere, is because they're just going to bring rules out for Legions and characters rather than having them part of a campaign. Because Book 9 came out, and we were like, where's Luther? Where's Luther? And they're like, well, he's not in the Thramis campaign, so why would he be there, right?
Because he's like, cool, and he should have been.
People are like, why? Well, you know, you bringing out Dark Angels. Who cares about Lion? We wanted Luther, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted the Patriot of Caliban, and he wasn't there. I was upset.
You guys are traitors, clearly.
You know, with Lustra, I'm not so sure. I read that First of the Fallen book. He's pretty cool dude.
Yeah, I guess if you're into scumbags, I don't know. If we're
No,
the same book.
have you read that book?
Yes, I read all the books.
All the books. Yeah, to me, okay, no spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, cover your ears. Basically, to me, in that book, he seemed like he was like an actual hardcore patriot of Caliban, and when the Lion's like, yeah, cool, strip mine, just rape the planet for its resources, I'm out. Luther's like, yo, man, this is our home. That ain't right. That's the impression I got, where Luther it didn't sit well with him, how he just disregarded Caliban to the Imperium war machine. And then, he walked a little bit of a dirty path, but I think it was because he was just trying to save his home, man.
Okay.
And it's that easy. That's how you convince the naysayers.
You turn this whole podcast into a pro anti Luther denial episode, because I don't know. Guy doesn't chain up a demon in his basement and ask for answers on how to kill a Primarch if he's not an evil guy. I'm just saying.
Oh boy.
He's just curious, okay? Just wanted to know.
He's just a patriot as he's like beating children in the back. Like it's okay. He's a patriot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
man. Good one.
Ah, so good. So good.
Okay, I'm gonna digress here. So, the other thing that came out was the Lion Primarch book.
Oh God, yeah.
You do get a little bit of a picture of the lion and what's happening. Luther comes out and you get to see kind of the erosion of the Dark Angel culture, over the 10,000 years, which is interesting.
Yep.
And then the other thing that obviously that happens is the Horus Heresy novels touch on what the Lion's doing and what's going on with the Legion, kind of in the background and lead up to the Siege of Terror, and how some of them do end up in Terra without any spoilers, and why they're there and who they're involved with and what happens, and again, just Mortis actually touches on this again. So this is it's a much bigger topic. I gotta say, like, the Lion came out with is it book 8, book 9, and the backstory and the lore for the Thramas Crusade combined with the recent books actually has me thinking differently about the whole First Legion and about Lionel Johnson. I was on the meme bandwagon for 4 years. Like, soon as someone posts a First Legion, it's like, traitor, okay. Find all my Lionel Johnson as a traitor memes and post those. And I actually, my whole my opinion's changed, I gotta say.
Whoa.
Has it changed because you saw Lionel Johnson's rules, or has it changed because you read the books?
The power gamer in me definitely beat the rules. Don't get me wrong. It was all I could do to not start a Dark Angels army. But no, actually, it's the lore. The lore actually turned it around for me. Now, the fact that we know that he doesn't end up at the Siege of Terra, that's been lore for 30 years now. We know he doesn't end up there. I think that's always going to be a sticking point for anyone. But maybe he's doing other things that are important. You don't know.
I'm not so upset.
Little Primarch crush.
Maybe. I'm not so upset that he didn't make it to the siege. I'm upset that he, you don't punch a chaplain's head off when he's like, hey, I'm going to tell if you fuck around and use those psychers, and you just do that. Oh, yeah? You just punch his head off. I don't know. That doesn't seem loyal to me.
Well, he is a Primarch.
Hey,
They
man.
have 10,000 sons. They are kind of disposable, though, right?
Well, I guess. There's an Edict of Nicaea that says otherwise,
Those are just details.
Minor details.
Fans, I'm sorry that I didn't realize that talking about the 9th book in Dark Angels was going to be a taboo and get us off into a tangent here.
Yeah, we just went into a wormhole.
More like a Chaos Gate.
Oh my!
So we can
Sure.
in the future. Alex is probably going to start Dark Angels. Yes.
No, I'm committed. I got Blood Angels on the desk, followed by Third Legion, and then more mechanical.
For now.
Well, yeah, but if you want to be really cool, you play Dark Angels, and then you can rock the old 3rd edition style Angels of Death, yo.
Oh,
Angels of Death, where you get them both. That was
He's got a point there.
It's a good book.
Oh boy.
So
awesome.
back to 7th Ed rules.
Yeah. We'll park that. We'll park that.
Leviathans are toughness 8. Do they change vehicles to toughness values? Do Spartans get T8? Do they go that far with it?
I hope the vehicles as is stay. I just want the dreads to change for sure. I really want something to happen with knights. I love the models. They look cool. I hate the interactions with them. I would rather them actually be like an actual vehicle and not be able to just raffle stomp everything literally to death.
Stop.
That stomp is straight BS. So
Just a removal of the D rule in general.
yeah, that would be nice.
Any reference to removed from play rules,
Yes.
would actually solve a lot of the field bads. I'd be no problem. You want to kick me in the face of the night at strength 10 AP 1? Give her, buddy. I don't care.
Yeah.
But just the removed from play interactions, it generates field bads.
It does.
I think that's why 8th and 9th, like, the mortal wounds come in, and that's why they got rid of, like, the D strength, and it's just mortal wounds are more of
That would
what they
be
were trying to do.
a cool mechanic to add. Instead of instant death, it's just mortal wounds.
Or something equivalent,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
No,
but
Yeah, it would
the
shake
stomp is the
things up.
worst.
I mean, it would shake things up, and what? Pretty much, if things turn to mortal wounds instead of instant death, Eternal Warrior would be gone.
yeah,
Yeah, they would have
Or
to
they would-
revamp the
a whole
thing,
bunch of
right?
rules. Yeah.
You know, or they would change it to doing something else, right?
Or Eternal Warrior Eternal Warrior gives you a saving throw against mortal wounds.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, shrugs off damage on 5s or whatever. That'd be legit.
Workshop available for rule writing anytime. See the details in the show notes.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's right. It would be pretty cool. I guess, next talking point is there's an event happening early next year, and it is known as LVO. And as is, we're planning on going to rock out and play some sweet Heresy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as the world is
Well, still standing.
calming down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could change.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it got canceled this year, and because we were all planning on going or potentially going, and then things got worse, and then Then they canceled themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew it just wasn't going to happen. But coming up for next year, it's a little different.
It is
Bit of a different than what we're used to.
Yeah, the format's definitely different. It's taking on some of the Mortavel rules, which is nice, and it's also using a particular, I guess, what is it? I don't want to say restriction, but a particular build to it, which is Centurion Plus, which is brought out by the Mortavel group. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely got some interesting mechanics to it. This particular event is you got to build the 2K Centurion Plus list, and then you expand that list to meet a 3K list. Everything that you take in your 2K list, you have to pull in your 3K list, which does come for some interesting, I guess, builds, because it's a little bit trickier than you would think initially. Especially with some of the restrictions that are on Centurion Plus.
And if you guys haven't figured out, we're all playing in the Heresy event, all 4 of us. So, but yeah, there's a different mechanic than what's been happening, and the 2 different point levels I've never done in a tournament myself, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work.
Yeah, the list building is tricky, and especially with some of the rules and whatnot, it definitely makes you kind of look at the army that you're playing, and if you are able to normally kind of play the way you would play that army.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I know we talked. Well, the 4 of us have talked about even myself with the White Scars. At first I was kind of like, well, no, I don't really want to play them in this event because I can't build them the way I want to, right? But going around that, we've kind of talked and try to figure out and try to build something that I can work with and whatnot. So, which is still in progress. But makes you start looking at other units that you may not have taken before. And one of the big things is you're not taking name characters.
Yep.
Right. That definitely changes it a fair bit. In my point of view, I think that takes a lot of the flavor away from the armies. Right? So, I don't know. I sometimes I just feel that it can be a little lacking in just the extra bonuses you get just because you have characters, that are for that army or for that legion or whatever, right? So support units, and they change dynamics of your army. So other than that, see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, it'll
be fun anyways.
For sure.
Like, we haven't left our house in 2 years, so being out of the country and in a new place, playing games with our buddies again, I think is going to be more exciting than how it's been in the last year.
Yes.
So
the trip itself will be definitely worth it for sure. I know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just jumping in and like crushing some loyalists. That's gonna be fun.
So, what happens if we get Heresy 2.0 before LVO?
Well,
that's a good question.
That's been on my mind, and it could really flip the whole thing right on its head.
Well, Mournival would just be obsolete because Tom would have to go and like refigure out everything and make it compatible, right? Or just close down Mournival and let Heresy take over.
I can't see them closing it down. I would see them revamping it and updating it to 2.0 because like they do, like the Mournival events team. I give them full props. They move really quick when it comes to updates, FAQs, and erratas. So I would hope that they could get everything ready to go in time for the event, and if not, at least for Adepticon or later, depending on what they're using, it would be full bore by then, I would think. But it very well, yeah, it could flip the event on its head where you got to kind of really, I guess, improvise, right? Because I can't see many people wanting to dig their heels in and be like, well, let's play the old rules for this one, I guess. Like myself, I'd want to jump into 2.0 all the way.
Yeah.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
So just to, I guess, go back for a second. I think it, regardless of your opinions on LVO and its style, I think, frankly, I think it did need a change. I think this will be year 4. Back to back with, I know Bill, as much effort as he put in to try and create a narrative environment and everything. I think just the meta was getting stagnant, and I think the narrative was getting forced. And I think Mournival has brought a whole bunch of new, fresh air to the potential event layouts, and I'm willing to give it a go. Whatever it is, and that's why it's internally here in Edmonton. I've been talking about going to Mournival for a bit, and seeing who's interested, because I think it's good. I think it's good for the hobby. I think change is good because it stops people from like, I'm going to see the exact same Custodians list. I'm going to see the exact same Mechanicus list. I'm going to see the exact same Armored Core list. Like, it kind of gets old. The only thing that really refreshes it, or has been refreshing it, is that people are just starting new armies, and that's good in a way, but I don't think it's healthy from a narrative or an event standpoint.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that for sure. Especially, bringing in Mournival, it does allow for a change of pace, which is definitely something that, I was looking at doing as, events went on. the way it's jumping in, it's definitely like a both feet jump in approach, which I do think will shake things up in a positive way. I'm looking forward to checking it out anyways and seeing how it goes. Because it does allow the player to really explore the version of their own heresy. I think that what they envision their Legion force is actually looking like, and being able to take like an iterator or take, a rogue psyker or some of these units that you read about in the book is a very appealing thing. So it's gonna be very cool and positive thing. I hope.
My only concern is, like Dan pointed out, the double list, the 2,000 to 3,000 point switch. Like, people being unfamiliar with the format, or not doing list checking in advance. And I just for the audience's perspective, we tried our first set of games here just a week ago, and with our most of us were playing new armies under the new rule set, and I think all of us made mistakes or had a legal list by the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, this is true.
I was all good, Alex. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's it would be nice to have the list being vetted, especially like from a guy either like Tom or members of the Mournival Events team, of guys who really know the system inside and out. And to be honest, like, there's a lot. If you're not familiar with it, there's like over 100 pages of units and entries and equipment and fluff, psychic powers, etc. Between two different books as well, right? We're using the Mournival Events book, and then there's the Mournival Battle Manual as well. And then there's FAQs and erratas and experimental rules on top of that, which it could be very overwhelming. I do expect to see probably a fair amount of people who are just like, nah, man, I just rolled with Heresy. And they just rolled their plain Jane lists out of the books as is, because there is a lot. And there's a ton of flavor, but you really got to do some digging and exploring to see what you want to run.
I think that's what I'm most curious about, is to see how many people actually go into the books and then create units that they created themselves, or sorry, that Mournival's created, and that people have gone and made units for. Because there's like breachers with support weapons like plasmas and stuff like that, or there's destroyer terminators,
heavy destroyers,
heavy destroyers, and there's a bunch of consoles, and they all have these unique weapons and stuff like that. So I'm very curious to see how many people go into the depths of going through those bit boxes and building these units and all that. So that's what I'm most excited about from the event itself, actually, is to see the creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of what it is, I mean, it'll be a fun time to go out and play and share those war stories with each other after the fact, right?
Yeah.
The absolute worst case is you get wicked tanked on $14 beers.
That's true.
That's the worst case scenario.
That's true, yeah. Or you just, you don't even make it past that pub crawl.
Yeah.
Day 2, you're just done.
I'll show up the next day with the 30k army at the bolt action tables. Start there.
Oh, awesome. Oh, man. It will be a very fun experience, because it'll be the first time in a while that I've actually been able to go down and play as a player. And be able to, clink beers and go for lunch and actually, rip out and not have to worry about the TO side of it, which is a lot of work in itself. So I'm looking forward to just being able to roam around and, just kind of peruse the tables and check out booths and other events and stuff on off hours, like from the event and shit. So pretty fun.
No, it'll be good, because we all have new armies going.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, we're all bringing something new, which is really cool.
Unless Tom doesn't fix Catafrons, then you know.
Yeah. Did you end up messaging him about that?
Why would I give up my secrets?
Because they're dirty secrets.
If you guys don't know, go and look.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna say.
Yeah, because we'll spend another hour talking about Mechanicus units.
So
No, but it'd be good. Just the whole hype for us getting, stuff built and painted up and trying stuff out with these new armies as well. And I think Alex has already got his army done, so
yeah,
he's already ahead of the game, kind of thing. But yeah, it's fun. It's good. It's hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of our pictures as well.
that's true. Yeah,
of the armies. I know eventually I like to set up Alex's army and get some nice shots of him and like do some background pics of him and whatnot.
yeah. And as we
showcase,
Should be done by the end of the month.
Ooh.
End of the month.
very nice,
beautiful.
very nice.
I know as we play more games as well, we'll definitely get more pictures up on the Instagram and Facebook of all the different legions as they get built and start to get all painted up and whatnot. And this might be a good opportunity for us, locally to really kind of stir the stick in the fire and get everyone rolling and maybe do another challenge and get some things kind of popping off. Something different this time and really get the hype going.
Oh, definitely. But even locally though, like the community, a lot of guys are working on a lot of different stuff.
It's true. Well, that is
right?
true. Even the last month, like admittedly, last couple months even, like we've got Brady jumping in, we got Cam, and then James.
Just recently with James.
Yeah, with James. Yeah, and
Like,
it's awesome. Like we've got new players jumping in. The system seems to be growing. There's guys who are like super pumped to start playing games and just keep rolling dice, which is nice. So this will be huge. And then at some point later down the road, we're going to be kind of starting to dive into some of the Horus Heresy novels, in particular the Siege of Terra series. And we'll be going through kind of our thoughts on it, talk about, rumors, spoilers, anything and everything. So look out for that coming in the future. Because I know it's something where all four of us here were pretty much caught up. So it should make for a pretty legit segment anyways. But yeah.
And after hours of how Luther actually is a bad guy.
I'm down for that too. Yeah, I'm down for that too.
There'll be the live stream at LVO at 2:00 in the morning after the pub crawl. Luther's a good guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I love that guy.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be good.
And Magnus didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, he did everything.
I'll make sure I bring the gimbal.
So
we
many
can
bad things.
stream that.
No, well, awesome.
So yeah, so if you guys get a Facebook live feed at 4 in the morning, probably Bill.
Yeah,
talking about Luther.
but watch it because you'll agree. So
good stuff.
Yeah, well, excellent. Well, yeah, that wraps up this episode, you guys. We appreciate you, tuning in, listening, watching, depending on what platform you're doing it on. And again, special thanks to Alex and Dan for jumping on with us for some Olde Guard Strike Back. Because it's like we said in the earlier, right in the beginning, these are our battle bros. We've been gaming, rolling dice together for a number of years. This is but a fraction of the crew, air quotes, and it's just starting to ramp up. So we're excited to be able to start gaming again, roll out as a group to LVO, and just do what we do.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure.
Me too. Thanks.
Yep. And yeah, we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.